Alright, I have been doing some theory crafting in my own little head, and I think that the Gladiator is going to be an excellent spellcasting class. It's going to be a good class to pick if you want to do something like a cast on crit build. It's even going to be good on just a regular hard casting spell build. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Weapon Master. When you're doing cast on crit, all 5 of these are going to be a benefit. If you're doing spell casting, more area of effect can be good, more critical strike chance can be good, and more damage to hits and ailments against enemies on low life. So you get 3 out of the 5 there. But I'm going to demonstrate a cast on crit idea. Obviously, I need POE to update so I can even get an idea if this would do a lot of damage, but I'm pretty sure it will. So I'm going to do a cast on crit demo. Now let's go to War of Attrition. This essentially is 100% more damage. It's going to take you 100 seconds to get that to 100% more damage, but there's not a lot of spellcaster ascendancies that are going to give you 100% more damage for your spells. Now this could still only work for attacks, and they just haven't mentioned that, but I think they're familiar with people that choose the champion and do a spellcasting champion. Well, now you can do a spellcasting Gladiator. With this 100% more damage, that is going to be excellent. And all of these block nodes are going to be great. Lucky block and the dual wielding block nodes. So dual wielding is doubled, and dual wielding will be 40 block and 20% more attack speed. Now that 20% more attack speed on a regular caster build is wasted, but that 40% block chance is still there. Now let's do some pathing. Obviously, you're going to want the X, it's always good. But here, we have a dual-wielding block. Attack speed is going to be great for Cyclone, and then the block is going to be great for defenses. We can come over here, grab these bad boys. I'm going to want to go that way, not this way. Here, spell suppression is lucky. I almost always grab that. We got a magic node over here. Let's take a read here. 30% critical strike multiplier against bleeding enemies. 80% increased critical strike chance against bleeding enemies. So we're going to be hitting enemies with Cyclone. A Cyclone's attack speed is extremely fast. With just these 2 nodes, we have a 20% chance. Basically, all enemies that are any level of difficulty are going to be bleeding. And this does not say with attacks. So this is going to be giving our spells 80% crit chance and our spells 30% crit multi. That's a lot of crit for the spells. We're going to be applying bleed and adding this. This is probably worth it for 3 nodes, if you think about it. So if you break this out into 3 nodes, that'll be 10 crit multi and like 25 crit chance. So if you had a node that was 10 crit multi, 25 crit chance, let's take a look at these right here. That's just 10 crit multi, 25, so it's like 2 of those all in one. So even if you're just counting the multi, it's worth it. Then you also get this little bleed, which isn't really going to do much, but it's fun to watch the bitch bleed. That's just a good time. I'll probably come underneath like that. Boom, boom. And if you want to go cluster jewels, you can go cluster jewels right there. But I'm going to leave off cluster jewels for now, and we're just going to path on up this way. We're going to get lucky spell suppression, get more aura, come right up this way. Dual life, and here we have another dual wielding block. This is going to give us more block chance for spell damage, block chance for attacks, both block chances, increased attack speed. So these are going to be pretty good. And if you want to go a second cluster jewel, you can swing up that way. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to path over this way just so I can get this elemental resistances are inverted. Now this is going to be like the core setup of, and painted to me. This is going to be the core setup of a Gladiator spellcaster, in my opinion. I like the inverted ones because I don't like to mess with the resistances. Early on, this is just super strong, and this is kind of the best way to get it. You can come over here, but these are mostly wasted nodes, or you can try to travel all the way over here, but that's a really far to travel. Coming down this way, you can get it pretty good, or you can cut through here. These are some pretty good nodes. But this is basically the outline of what you want to do. And if you want to get some free leech right here, you get free leech, and I give you a little crit multi. So 3 points for free leech and a little bit of damage, but that's kind of not useful. And you would go up instead of down. but you might need a little bit more crit chance, and this is more crit chance for your dagger. So if your crit chance isn't quite high enough for your cyclone, that's a good option, and it will give you your leech. And you can just grab these, some more crit nodes. I'd probably go and grab this one because of the attack speed, but probably not. I'd probably just leave it blank. Probably want to go there like that. And then if you wanted to get more crit, boom. And if you wanted to go Eldritch Battery to fix all of your mana problems, you can grab that right there. I'm kind of partial to grabbing these nodes. This is only going to work for the spells. I'd probably use Ball Lightning or something like that. But this 100% increased critical strike chance against shocked enemies, again, that's just going to be universal. A ton of crit strike chance, and I don't think I want to use any of those. And you can come over here, grab more aura and some more hybrid life, because hybrid life is pretty damn nice. And we're at 84, so I'd probably cluster jewel and chill. So this would be how I would set up a cast on crit champion using Varanastra and this little sword here. And I think it's going to be pretty strong. You can do a lot of different stuff with it. Obviously, you can, if you don't want to use this guy, you can cancel out of that. You don't want to come over here, you can get rid of that. And you don't want this stuff, you don't need that, you don't need that. You don't need any of that. And you wanted to do a cluster jewel there, a cluster jewel here, and you don't want to get crazy and do a cluster jewel there. Maybe do a projectile skill like a Ball Lightning. Boom, good to go. Say you want to do some Wind Dancer. Boom, good to go. So this would even work pretty well as a aura build, because you got aura, aura, aura. And then if you really wanted to, you can pop over there. And then you can anoint that one. Yeah, so I think there is a lot of opportunity. This is a lot like the champion, but replace the champion's free fortify with a really high chance to block and 100% increased damage, or 100% more damage, and then all of these benefits here. Now these aren't very useful. I mean, this one you can have just for the pops, right? So if you really didn't want to use this weapon mastery, you can get bleed pops, but you still have to make them bleed, so this would be a CoC only build. So you can get some bleed pop if you really want to bleed pop. And retaliation, I don't really know what this is going to do. Maybe retaliation would be hot if it's not basing it off of like your total attack damage. If it's just like physical damage and it's a spell, that'd be great. But I didn't read or pay too much attention to retaliation. But either way, I think that the Gladiator might be the new melee spellcaster. Alright, late.